Hey there, it's Elizabeth. Welcome back to another Ramble session on a Monday. Yay! I hope y'all are doing well. I hope you had a great weekend. We had a regular weekend. I'm just gonna leave this photo or what's on my desk here for a few seconds, minutes, I don't know, because maybe the YouTube thing will select it as a thumbnail. Yeah, I don't do thumbnails. I just pick whatever they pick. So sometimes, like if you leave something there for a little while and it's not moving around, it'll save it as a thumbnail. So that is what I'm doing, and that's why you're just staring at this sign. So very thankful. And there's a story behind this sign. A dear friend of mine sent it to me last week because I had called her with some hopefully good news. And what we're hoping is good news. We're cautiously optimistic about it. If you've read the title of this video, you will know it is about Big Handsome's health saga. Yeah. Okay, now you're going to see my hands. Hello. Okay, hopefully that'll become the thumbnail. I don't know. Anywho, yes, I received this sign along with a lovely letter from a dear friend, and we are so very thankful because I wasn't going to start out with Big Handsome's health saga, but it looks like I am. So, what happened was last week he went in to see his regular doctor for a follow-up or whatever, and the poor thing had just resigned himself to the same old routine when he goes in for a follow-up, in which the case is always, we can't find anything, you look fine, your test results all came back negative, we don't know what's wrong with you, let's try this. Okay, well, this appointment was completely the opposite of what he had resigned himself to before going in. So, apparently, if you guys didn't know this, my husband was hospitalized back in the beginning of July, from July 1st through July 4th, with acute pancreatitis. Third time he had it in, I guess, 10 years. And so, while he was in the hospital that particular time, they went ahead and did an MRI, and it could have been specifically for his gallbladder and pancreas. Okay, so anyway, very long story short, the test result came back that his gallbladder is bad. Oh my gosh, who knew? Who knew? Well, I'll tell you who knew. My husband and I knew. We've known this for years, and none of the tests have ever shown it. So, praise the Lord, something showed up on a test. Is that not sad or what? When you are praying, that something actually shows up. Oh, good grief, my life. So anyhow, yes, my husband, we meet, he'll be having his gallbladder out. I'm fairly certain. And we'll be going in this week, in fact, in a few days, to go have a meeting with the surgeon and, schedule the surgery date. So we are so hoping that this is going to take care of a lot of the issues he's been having over, many, many years, but specifically over the last 5 years. So yeah, that is why I am so very thankful. Yes. And my girlfriend picked this out for me, and it's just was perfect. So yes, this sits lovingly on my shelf. Okay. So let's get into what else has been going on, shall we? Okay. Here's my book. This is my, whatever month we're in, July and August, creative journal. Okay. And I know I've seen recently that the term creative journal has been tossed to and from, or to and fro. I don't know. Anyway, it's been mentioned a lot on either Facebook groups that I belong to or on YouTube and everything. It is not a new concept. I used to call this my Fobonichi. I no longer call it my Fobonichi because it's essentially a junk journal that I keep track of what's going on in my day. Okay, so it's a daily journal. Well, it's a daily journal that I don't work on daily. Okay, I'm sure that was clear as mud. Yeah. If you've been on my channel for any length of time, you've seen these books. This is actually an altered composition book that I added a 1.5-inch spine to. It has 2 signatures sewn into it, and I use it for my daily journal. However, I do not have the time to sit in here every single day and make my pages, create my pages. So yeah, I have daily entries, but I don't work on it daily. And in fact, let me just mention here now, because I was thinking about it this morning. I'm considering, I don't know when it will be, because that all has to do with my schedule, but I'm considering doing a live at some point in the near future, and maybe doing like a question and answer during the live stream. I have a lot of new subscribers, and I thank you so much, and welcome, welcome, welcome. And of course, a warm welcome back to all of my subscribers. So yeah, I mean, some of you might have questions about what I do, or anything, like how I started on YouTube, why I started on YouTube. I'm open. I'm pretty open to personal questions, seeing as I share my entire life here on YouTube. Questions about what I do, anything. If you're interested, leave a comment below or a question below if you're interested in something like that, like a question and answer session. Yeah, because my YouTube channel has really evolved to add a lot more things into it, I guess. So, all right. So there's that. So yeah, if you have a question that you've been curious about, yeah, leave it below in the comment section. And also, I do have an email below that I do check it daily. I actually get notifications whenever I get an email, so I try to respond as quickly as possible. I know it is an obnoxiously long email address. That's a whole different story. But yeah, if you have a question that you want to ask me that you don't want to ask publicly, or you just want to send me an email, that's fine too. Yeah, the email address is down below. You just have to copy and paste it into your email. So yeah, so I welcome all of that as well. Okay, so in the book, all right, you all know that I am super duper behind. Okay, in the month of August, I think I've only done my beautiful gems again. I think you've seen this picture like 20 times by now, but I did have the opportunity. There's my other gem. Well, one of my gems. You've seen that one too. You'll see all these in a flip through once I get a chance to actually do some flip throughs. So I have been working in my book. You'll see all of these in a flip through. These are some more recent ones that I've done when my son closed on his new home. These I worked on this weekend, and this was just a plain one that I didn't feel like doing much to, but I wanted to write my notes in. So yeah, and then these pages here I haven't finished working on. Some of these I worked on a month or two ago. This is my July book, actually, that I still have yet to finish. Okay, so I have all these things almost done with this part of the book. And then we go into August, and these are recreations by Brooke. Her beautiful date stickers, love them. I really hope she continues to do them. And then we start into August, which now we're almost at the end of August, and I don't even have August 1st done. I have August 2nd decorated, and like pretty much nothing else. I've saved information in here when I get... This was my daughter's birthday. I received some nice happy mail. Here's more happy mail from my sweet friend. Little bits and bobs, that I put in here. This was an article that really annoyed me. So anyhow, so yeah, I need to work on this. See, like I've gotten some of these things done, and like all the way back here. Yeah, so it's been crazy here. Been crazy, okay? Yeah, with so many health issues going on, good grief. Yeah, I'm like every week we're at the doctor's office, the hospital, the lab, you name it. Okay, so that's why I just haven't really been working too much in here on much of anything. But I'm gonna start, hopefully. Anywho, so let's get on with what I've been working on aside from pages. Yeah, I've just been kind of working on pages, and I'm working on a new blanket. Yes, I am. Okay, so last week, so we're just gonna jump right from journaling to crochet. Okay, last week I told you how much I despised this. I'm not even going to call it yarn, okay? It is just not yarn. It is fuzzy thread as far as I'm concerned. Anywho, I had picked up on a crazy sale at Michael's, like 6 skeins of this, okay? Fuzzy thread, all right? It is Bernat velvet, okay? Super hard to crochet with. Although on the little strippy thing that goes around the skein, it had a baby blanket and a pattern for a baby blanket. So I'm assuming that the company, the intent of the company for this fuzzy thread is to use it for crochet. No. Okay. So there's that. Okay. So I was going to make my son a big old throw out of this, and it turned out to be a no-go. And this is a little bit of what I have left, and I'm going to use this for, like, to put on tags and stuff like that. This is part of the blanket that I was frogging, and this is part of the problem of this thread. You can't frog it. Like, it is super hard to frog it. Once it goes into a knot, because the center of it is this right here, if you'll notice, okay? See that? That is what they call yarn, okay? That is a thread, and with fuzzy stuff on it. So yeah, impossible to frog, nearly impossible to frog. Okay, we're just done with that. Okay, so that whole clump is going in the garbage. But I had rolled this ball because I couldn't return it. And what I ended up doing, or what I'm attempting to do, this is all a mess, but I'm just making a simple double crochet, right? I'm just using up this ball. However big it goes, that's how big it's going to be. I'm trying not to get frustrated with it because it seems to be working well with this metal hook. Let me see what size this is. This is a 5mm hook. And so I just keep this by my chair in the living room, and when I have the time, and then I work on it. And this is going to be a soft, it is really soft. I mean, I have to give him that. It's super duper soft, okay? Soft, fuzzy thread, not yarn. Anyway, I can't, good grief. I sound really bitter about this yarn, don't I? Oh, it's not really yarn. Okay, anyway, so this is going to be made into a however big it gets throw for my daughter's classroom. There you have it. And so when I told my daughter, I said, do you want me, I could just make that, for your couch, for your flexible seating in her classroom on her couch. She's like, oh, great, Mom. Now I'm going to have all my kids fighting over the soft blankie. Well, oh, well, she can deal with that. It's her class. Okay, so let's get into, we'll get into more crochet in a minute, but I wanted to show you this because this has to do with, it has nothing to do with yarn, but it will in a minute. You'll understand why. So hand-drawn lettering, draw print paint by Max Marlborough. I picked this up at Tuesday morning last week on the way back from the hospital. Anyway, $4, like I couldn't pass it up. And at first I thought, oh, it has such great, like, whatchamacallit, like that, okay? How beautiful would that be to just chop up and make a tag out of or something? But then as I was reading it and whatnot, then it has this on the back, you know? So, I don't know. I'll probably end up cutting it up at some point. But as I was looking through it, it's a book on, obviously, how to hand draw, you know, your letters. And I thought in some instances they have these step-by-step things. In other instances they have, oh, look at that beautiful picture. Oh, and that one too. Oh my gosh. Ooh. Oh. Ooh. Ah. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, in some of them, they have like, you know, step by step. In some areas, they have like the whole alphabet that you can look at to make your own letters. And I do enjoy doing hand lettering, and I have in fact gone into my daughter's school and I've done some hand lettering for her in her classroom. And so this book is going to be a great reference book to making letters and doing all kinds of, you know, different lettering. Yeah. So I picked this up at Tuesday morning, and we were on the way back from the hospital in the city. My husband had a procedure for his post-op for his gallbladder removal. Anyway, so on the way home, my husband, he was feeling okay, and he said, you know, oh, is there any place you want to go? I said, nah, not really. Let's just go home. I know you're tired. And he says, well, you know, you don't want to go to Tuesday morning even? And I was like, well, honey, if you're willing to take me there, I'm not going to fight with you. You know what I'm saying? So we ended up going. And funny thing is, as we were walking through the parking lot, I said, and I was still like peeved about the whole fuzzy thread, what they call yarn situation. All right. I'm spending way too much time on that. Anyhow, I said, you know, I really wish that Tuesday morning had a better selection of yarn at a good price, you know? Well, lo and behold, okay, I walked in, I went to the yarn section, and look what I found. Yes, it is by the same company, but this is not fuzzy thread. This is blanket yarn from Yarnspirations, and I am loving it. What I am loving even more is the price tag. $1.99. $1.99 a skein, okay? So, and I swear to you, this yarn was like meant to be, all right? So, I look on the shelf and I see 3 colors, okay? I see gray, I see this blue, which is called country blue, and I see an off-white. And I was like, holy cannoli, those are my son's colors of his house. Like, his walls are gray, and then all of his accents are blue and teal and, you know, varying shades of blue and teal. And so I thought, oh my gosh, this would be great. Well, then the other thing that I saw is that they had a bunch of it, okay? So I actually purchased, let me think, 9 skeins, okay? 9 skeins at $2. So for like $20, I was able, no, I'm sorry, I purchased 10 skeins. I purchased 4 gray and then 3 blue and 3 of the off-white. And so for like 20 some bucks, I got 10 skeins of yarn. Okay. That is like unheard of. And this is just a little tip for you. I mean, I still consider myself a beginner crocheter. I've been crocheting for possibly, close to 2 years, I guess. And, I don't read patterns, and I very rarely know how much yarn to get for a certain something. I usually find a video on YouTube that teaches a certain stitch, and I just guesstimate and, you know, whatever. But as far as paying for yarn, I am a cheapskate, okay? Call me frugal. That's a more polite way of saying it, but this is how I kind of determine whether it's worth it to me. If I can go into a store and it's going to cost me more to purchase a throw than it would be to make a throw, then I buy the yarn and make the throw. and then the opposite is true. If the yarn is so expensive that it would be cheaper to actually, or less expensive to go to the store and just purchase a throw, then I'll do that. So that's how I kind of gauge the pricing of yarn and whether it's a good buy or not. And when I make a throw, I like to try to have at least like 2,000 yards, I think. And it all depends on the yarn and the size and all that, whatever. Anyhow, so I got this yarn and I got 10 balls of it in this beautiful country blue, gray, and off-white. So let me show you what I did with it. Ta-da! This is what I'm making with it. Oh, I am so pleased with it, even though I've had to frog it like 4 times. But I am very pleased with it. It is going to be a throw for my son's couch. This is the top of it. And I did change the pattern a little bit. I put 6 rows of the first row in the pattern, and then I started on the row 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think there are 6 rows in it, and you repeat like rows 2 through 6, I think. Anyway, it's called Lark's Foot, and it really is a super easy pattern to do. Like, all you need to do is know how to do a double crochet. You know, this is just a long double crochet right here, but super easy, super fun, even though, yes, again, I've had to frog it I don't know how many times. But it's because I lost my count, and whatever. And let me just look. I'm looking in my book here because I have the tag. Where did it go? I just showed it to you guys. Anywho, yeah, here it is. Okay. So the pattern, this is what it's going to look like, only in my colors, right? Such a pretty throw. Such a pretty throw. So they say on here that it's a number 2 level, which is like not beginner, but not advanced, you know? And it tells you how many balls of yarn you need too, which I like, you know, even though I can't read the pattern, because what I ended up doing, I hope that's not glary. What I ended up doing is going online, right, and finding a video. Well, the video that Yarnspirations put out, nothing against the teacher who was teaching the stitch, but the tutorial was for a more advanced crocheter, if that makes any sense. Like, she went really quickly. I wasn't learning what I needed to learn from that video. So anyway, again, another long story short, I found a lady, and I'll put her YouTube below. It's called Creative Grandma. And oh my gosh, she is a wonderful teacher. Or I just happen to learn a lot better from her. She goes very slowly. She tells you literally stitch by stitch, step by step. So easy to learn from. And wouldn't you know it, last week, her stitch of the week, is what she calls it on her channel, was Lark's Foot. Oh my heavens to Betsy, yes. So, and then what I did, because I save all my bits and bobs for my journal, is I took the wrapper, cut it down to size. I wanted to make sure that I knew I got it for $1.99. I poked some holes into it and put little samples of the yarn, right? So later on in years to come, I'll know that these were the colors I used to make this beautiful blanket. And then I backed it with some graph paper, and I'll do my journaling on that. So yes, I save all kinds of stuff to be used in my journal. Now, there is a little story behind this Lark's Foot, and I've been going on for 23 minutes, but guess what? I'm going to keep on going because I've missed y'all. I've missed chatting with y'all. So the story behind this Lark's Foot, which was, first of all, just the yarn being in the store at that particular time on that particular day when my husband happened to say, do you want to go to Tuesday morning, was crazy in and of itself. Okay, so obviously that was meant to be, because it's all the colors of his house. And so then I saw the pattern for the Lark's Foot, and I thought, it is more than a beginner level, but I wonder if I can do it, right? So, yes, so I learned how to do it. But then, of course, Lark's Foot, okay? It's called Lark's Foot blanket. And that, of course, prompted me to look up the meaning of lark, okay? Because that's my life, all right? That's what I do. Yeah, I'm a curious sort of person. So, anyhow, I looked up the term lark, and everybody knows what a lark is, right? I mean, I would think. It's a bird, okay? It's a bird. And have you guys, I'm sure that most of you have heard of the yes, I was an English teacher, but now can't think of the correct term. Is it an idiom? I'm not really sure, but anyway. Um, the saying happy as a lark, right? So I looked that up and I wanted to know the meaning behind that. And it turns out that the lark is a bird and it is a happy bird. And it shares its happiness by singing and singing a lot. Okay. So that's kind of where the term happy as a lark came from, right? The bird's just going along its day and just singing away because he's happy. Well, that was another meant to be moment for me because I'm making this for my beautiful son. And my son like personifies the lark. I mean, it's crazy. Like it like mind blown, okay, when I was reading this. And I'm saying that because my son, my beautiful son, he's always been a happy kid. Of course, until he's not happy, which can happen on occasion. But he was always and still is always such a happy, happy-go-lucky kind of guy. You know what I mean? Like, rarely do you see him get down. And one of the things he does and has done his entire life is sing. He sings all the time. He literally sings all the time. He sings in the shower. He sings in his room. He sings while he walks down the hallway. The boy is singing like all the time. And it's always been like a thing in our family that he loves to sing. And so I just thought, how apropos. I mean, like, it was crazy that I found this yarn that it is in the lark's foot pattern, and a lark is a happy bird that sings all the time. Like, I mean, hello, it was just crazy. Yeah. And we love to hear him sing. It's also bittersweet too, because this blanket is for his new home that he's going to be moving into in a few short weeks, and I will no longer hear him singing. So that's very bittersweet, and I don't want to start crying right now. But yeah, I mean, like, my husband and I would sit in our living room and we would just hear him back in his bedroom just belting out a song, and any song. I mean, it could be the Star Spangled Banner. It could be like the latest Green Day song or whatever. It could be Aerosmith. It could be Hallelujah from Cohen, I mean, oh my goodness. And then like a little while later, I'd go back there and I'd say, oh, that song was really beautiful. And he would be like, what are you talking about? He doesn't even realize that he's singing, folks. He doesn't even realize it. It's just natural for him. He sings. He loves music and he loves to sing. So anyway, I wanted to share that story and the meaning behind this blanket for my beautiful son, and I really hope he enjoys it. I'm not letting him kind of like see the whole thing because I kind of want it to be a little bit of a surprise. I'm going to give it to him when he has his housewarming party. And so, yeah. So I love it. It's coming out beautifully. I love this yarn, by the way, okay? So please, I hope I'm redeemed by Yarnspirations. Of course, I'm redeemed by the Lord. I mean, we all know that. But you know what I'm saying, okay? I had so many bad things to say about this stuff. Okay, I love this yarn, this blanket yarn. And if I ever see it at Tuesday morning again, I'm buying all of it, because it is so easy to work up. I did this whole thing just last night while I was sitting watching TV. It's super quick, super easy pattern. Go check out Creative Grandma. I believe that's her name on YouTube, because she has some fantastic videos, okay? Fantastic crochet videos. So I think that's all I want to share with you. And could you please, if you're the praying sort or sending good thoughts sort, please pray for my husband that this whole gallbladder issue is what has been standing in his way these last few years of having a 100% quality of life. So yeah, we're hoping about that. We are hoping and praying that that works out, that the surgery goes well, and that it answers a lot of our questions, and that he can get back to, or not back to, that he can now move forward to healing and recovery. So that is my hope and prayer specifically. Okay, I will quit boring you now. I thank you in advance for everything. And I hope you enjoyed this and my little storytelling about the lark's foot, my beautiful son. So, at any rate, I hope y'all have a great rest of your day and a wonderful week. And I will talk to y'all real soon. Bye for now.